you're a helicopter pilot in the military, live in Texas. What in the world got you interested in Cannonball or wanting to do this ridiculous thing?
I'm old enough to have watched the movie in theaters way back in the day, and I was like, 13 years old, and once you see the movie, once you understand the concept, it kind of sinks into your blood. And it
For the millennials watching, what is the movie?
Oh, the Cannonball Run movie came out in 1981. It was a comedy movie about an event that's a series of events that happened in the 1970s, the Cannonball Run, which is the wildly illegal cross-country race.
So the movie was based on a real event?
Shocking, isn't
happened?
it? Allegedly. Yes, and it just kind of sinks into your system, and it stayed there. And during a downturn in my flying job, I had another job I was working with where it didn't require a lot of brain power, and my mind started wandering.
Government job?
Yeah, I was a politician. How'd you know? No, my brain wandered, and one day it just popped into my head, and I just started thinking about it and did some research and found all these different records that had happened recently, and I just started stewing on it. What are you going to do? How would you do it? How would you get away with it? And the big one, how do you convince your wife to let you do it? And so we started thinking about it, and I started doing research, and I spent a lot of time thinking about it and talked to some people, and eventually came up with a plan and said, let's do this. And obviously the first step to a successful cannonball is walking up to your wife, and you stand up straight and put your hands on your hips. You look her right in the eye and you say, please, I want to go do it. I'll do dishes. I'll do the laundry. I'll learn how to cook. And she was like, cool. So from that point forward, I just started planning.
You probably didn't even have to do any of those things. Because I met Sheila. She's pretty darn cool. She probably would have just said okay. And
for the record, I'm not scared of her. She didn't hear me, did she? No, but she's real laid back, and we worked on it together and came up with a plan that at the last second completely fell apart, and then we ended up making another plan, and then I made the run with the vehicle I ended up using.
All right, so what was the plan? What was the original plan?
Okay,
that fell apart?
In early 2019 is when I finally got to the point where I was ready to go, and I had another driver. We were going to do a team run, and we talked on the phone 4 or 5 times a week, hammered out the details, had everything ready to go. Got 3 weeks from pulling the trigger in the fall of 19, and following that great tradition that goes back generations, he ghosted me. You get right up on the event, and they poof, gone. He didn't even say gone. He just disappeared. So I was left blowing in the wind, and I tried to scramble and do a solo run because I decided at that point it is not worth the hassle of trying to make somebody else do what they're supposed to do. And as I tried to come together with the solo run, my job called me back to work in Las Vegas, and I had to cancel. So then I said, okay, I'm doing a solo run in the spring of 20, which is what I did.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that one of the hardest things about doing a cannonball is not actually doing it. It's getting somebody dumb enough to go with you. Because everybody says they want to do it. Oh, yeah, I'll do a cannonball. And then you get up to it, and they go, so what hotels are we staying at along the way?
That's why I say everybody wants to do a cannonball until it's time to do cannonball stuff.
The only overnight stays along the way are unscheduled, and they're usually at the county.
Yeah. So. Or on the side of the road with flames coming out from under the hood.
Right. Yeah, so it's, I don't know. Sean, did you have somebody bail? You did, right? You had somebody bail as your third.
Yeah, work-related.
Yep, and that's how I think Mark Spence took your third. Mark Spence became the second of the first coast to coast. Chris Clemens. Golly, I hope he's not watching. I didn't forget your name. There's so many runs. I love you, Chris. Became Chris Clemens second because Chris's co-driver bailed. Ironically, Chris's co-driver was going to be Fred Ashmore. What a weird twist of things there. But anyway. So many people bail on this. There's very few people with the level of insanity, commitment required to
Severe
do something
lack
like
of
this.
Common sense.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Not enough things to live for, and
jail time.
Yeah.
Come on.
So that's a very real and very common thing, and difficult issue of running a Cannonball is finding the people that you can trust and that'll be reliable and that'll actually be there when it's time to do it.
And it happened to me.
And that are qualified, because some will do it and then you get in the car and they go, oh, I thought we were going for a cruise. We have to average 80 miles an hour, so that means we drive 81, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.